Let's talk about closing costs when you're buying a house. Buying a house, a couple components come into this. We've got your down payment. So you got to figure out what you're going to be putting down, anywhere from 3.5% down on an FHA loan to infinite number, but 20% would be that threshold for conventional conforming loan. So say 3.5 to 20%, that's your down payment number. Now you've also got closing costs. You've got closing costs are primarily for obtaining a loan. So if you are taking a loan out, you're going to have roughly 2.5 to 3.5% of your purchase price in closing costs. And so that's a round number. And the reason it is not consistent is because every loan comes with additional costs. If you're using points to buy down your rate, obviously that's going to drive your costs up a bit. Depending on the time of year, you're going to have more prorated costs for your escrow account. So depending on when taxes are due or paid, what kind of credits you're getting back from the seller or the buyer, and even what time of month you close, dictates how much interest you're paying for that month of closing. And so there's a lot of little factors. So until we have all of those factors, lean on the 3.5%, just as a rough closing cost estimate, in addition to your down payment. And then finally, some hidden costs. And these aren't really hidden. Nobody just thinks about them. Your hidden costs are, you're going to have inspections. So an inspection could be anywhere from $400 to $700. It's possible you would need a septic inspection as well, which could be another couple $100. It's possible you may need a water test or a well test or a pool inspection. There's a lot of inspections that we're going to do that could range in total $1,000, $1,500. You're going to have an appraisal cost. In most cases, you're paying that out of pocket. You're going to have a survey. These will factor into some of your closing costs at closing. But these are things that we're spending money on up front that aren't necessarily predicated on us closing, right? So you want to make sure that you understand that there are real expenses before you even close on the house. And so now also you've got the obvious ones of moving. You've got moving costs. You've got carrying costs if you're doing any renovations. So make sure you're sitting down and planning the cash requirement for this purchase and what it's going to take you from the start, through the loan, through the inspections, through moving, and ultimately being settled in the house.